London city I made my way. Up Cheapside I chanced to stray, where a fair pretty maid I there did meet, and I greeted her with kisses sweet. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. Took me to some house of sin, then boldly then she entered in. Loudly for supper she did call, thinking that I would pay for it all. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. Supper over the table cleared, the waiter brought white wine and red. The waiter brought white wine and red, and the chambermaid prepared a bed. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. Between the hours of 1 and 2, she asked me if to bed I'd go. Immediately I did consent, and along with this pretty maid there I went. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. Her cheeks were white, her lips were red. I kissed her as she lay in bed. Then when she was fast asleep, out of the bed I did creep. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. I searched her pockets and there I found a silver snuff box and £10, a gold watch and a diamond ring. Well, I took the lot and then I locked her in. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. Come all young men and listen to me. If you find a pretty girl then use her free. Use her free but don't get pie. Remember me when I was up Cheapside. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the